Welcome to Living History Channel. Be sure to subscribe and like so you don't miss out on more videos like this one.
1861 versus 1865. 4 years of Civil War transformed Abraham Lincoln from a calm statesman into a visibly worn leader. These images silently show the cost of wartime leadership. Early 20th century Japan. 2 samurai officers turned killing 100 people into a contest of honor. A real and chilling story of how war can erase humanity entirely. Bigfoot, or Sasquatch, is a legendary figure in Indigenous American and Canadian folklore. The name comes from the Salish word Saskats, meaning wild man or hairy man. Cleopatra was far more than a beauty icon. She spoke 9 languages. This rare skill, paired with sharp political strategy, helped her rule and negotiate with leaders like Julius Caesar. London, 1960. 23-year-old Alan G. was fatally attacked by 4 youths lying in wait to rob. They took nothing, but their blind violence claimed an innocent life. Final days of the war, a young German soldier surrenders, a face caught between fear, exhaustion, and the collapse of an illusion that led millions to destruction. January 1945, after Auschwitz was liberated, survivors carried charred wooden bowls. One man said, "It was all but empty. Maybe now it will be full." Hope was born from hunger. In Edo period Japan, folklore tells of the Hoibikuni, a servant who took blame for her master's embarrassing noises, preserving dignity, harmony, and strict social etiquette. In the Thames estuary, Monsal sea forts rise from World War II, once guarding London, later abandoned, turned into pirate radio bases, and even inspiring the strange micronation of Sealand. On September 11, 2001, Marcy Border's dust-covered image became a symbol of shock and survival. Yet behind the photo were years of trauma and illness, proving disasters don't end when the smoke clears. Jeffrey Dahmer's name recalls one of America's darkest crimes. He evaded justice for years, yet a single mistake in May 1990 could have ended his reign of terror much sooner. Kyoto University, 1960. Oppenheimer stands before a Japanese audience, the scientist tied to the atomic bomb. Instead of anger, there is silence and attention, a moment where science, guilt, and a culture of dialogue quietly intersect. At the end of the Cold War, Pepsi traded with the USSR without cash, vodka for soda, the surreal result, decommissioned ships and submarines that, on paper, briefly made Pepsi one of the world's largest navies. While diplomats smiled and spoke of peace, generals quietly planned war behind closed doors. History shows negotiations are sometimes less about peace and more about buying time to strike. The Falklands War of 1982 was a 74-day conflict between the UK and Argentina, proving that even remote islands can reshape global politics. Short but costly, it left lasting lessons in modern naval warfare. In 1929, American codebreaker Herbert Yardley grew suspicious of an overly friendly woman in a New York bar. He narrowly escaped an espionage trap, realizing his secret career was nearing its end. Elizabeth Förster Nietzsche, Friedrich Nietzsche's sister, sought to build a racist, Aryan utopia in Paraguay in the late 19th century. Her colony, Nueva Germania, collapsed into poverty, disillusionment, and historical tragedy. 1870s London, despite progress, was haunted by crime. The mysterious poisoning of young lawyer Charles Bravo inside a locked house shocked society. The case was never solved, becoming a symbol of Victorian-era intrigue. Lavrenti Beria was the dark face of Soviet power, ruling with a cold smile and iron hand. As architect of repression, he enforced Stalin's order through fear, camps, and absolute control. During World War II, the seas weren't only battlefields. Crewless ghost ships drifting into fog-fueled sailors' fears. Some were real remnants of attacks, others born from isolation and wartime terror. During World War II, a silent war unfolded in dark rooms. Thousands of women at Bletchley Park broke Enigma codes, quietly helping to change the course of the war. During World War II, deception went beyond tanks and maps. In Operation Grim, makeup and disguises enabled infiltration, intelligence gathering, and misdirection, where creativity proved as decisive as weapons. Alexander Pushkin, a 19th century Russian poet and writer, founded modern Russian literature. With a simple yet profound style, he blended romanticism and realism, creating timeless works that inspired generations of writers. In the 1930s, German researcher Otto Rahn pursued the legend of the Holy Grail, becoming entangled with Nazi ideology and myth. His search for hidden truth began as scholarship but ended in a tragic and mysterious fate. In a world obsessed with youth, Grandma Moses proved it's never too late to begin. She started painting in her 70s and became one of America's most inspiring folk artists. The Boxer Rebellion in late 19th century China was a violent uprising against foreign influence and colonial power. Driven by tradition and anger, it ended in brutal suppression and lasting consequences. Troy stands between myth and history, a city defined by a 10-year war, legendary heroes, and the cunning Trojan horse, a story that has fascinated humanity for over 3,000 years. Spring 1954, a school climb to Hoher Dockstein began as an educational adventure. Ignored warnings and sudden weather changes turned the trip into a deadly tragedy, leaving a lasting mark on alpine history. During World War II, the Panzerschreck, meaning tank terror, was a German anti-tank weapon designed to pierce Allied armor. Simple yet deadly, it reshaped ground combat dynamics. In January 2006, 24-year-old Jennifer Kess vanished without a trace. Her home showed signs of a normal morning, yet she and her car were never found, an enduring modern mystery. 1930s, parents glide across the ice, guiding their child through a first skating lesson. A simple moment, capturing family warmth, frozen in time and winter. Early 1900s, Alice Dougherty, a teenager with hypertrichosis, was exhibited because of her excessive body hair. This photo shows her with family, caught between home's care and public judgment. 1977, the cast of Star Wars seen out of character and without iconic costumes. A rare behind-the-scenes moment before a galaxy far, far away turned them into pop culture legends. 1939, Royal Naval College, Dartmouth. 18-year-old Philip meets 13-year-old Elizabeth for the first time. A modest encounter that would later become one of the most enduring royal unions of the century. 19th century Rwanda, amasunzu was more than a hairstyle. It was a social language. Worn by unmarried men and women, it signaled status, maturity, and readiness for marriage. 1930, passengers in formal attire board the British airship R-101 via a movable platform. Airship travel symbolized luxury, progress, and humanity's dream of mastering the skies, before tragedy ended it. October 1977, the final photograph of Charlie Chaplin, taken 2 months before his death. A man who spoke through silence, turned comedy into truth, and became immortal in cinema history. 1874 to 1933. Marianne Bevan, affected by acromegaly, was exhibited in circuses to support her children. Behind the cruel title, "The Ugliest Woman," stood a mother surviving through hardship. 1864. At 14, Robert McGee survived a scalping attack. He lived on, turning a brutal wound into testimony of survival, an unsettling chapter of frontier violence and human resilience. 1909. A rare image of a Mongolian shaman believed to mediate between humans and spirits, able to heal illness or summon suffering through ancient rituals. World War II, a mother whose 8 sons all served and all returned home alive. A rare photograph capturing hope amid the devastation of war. 1906, Pinerolo Cavalry School, an Italian officer performs the Montbron descent, a hazardous 6-meter jump, a rite testing courage, skill, and readiness before graduation. 1960, West Virginia, Robert F. Kennedy pauses for a meal during his brother John F. Kennedy's campaign. A quiet moment from an era when politics still felt close to the people. July 28, 1945. Dense fog led a U.S. Army B-25 bomber to crash into the Empire State Building. 14 died, yet the skyscraper endured, becoming a symbol of resilience. 1930s, early Coca-Cola cans featured simple metal designs. This innovation moved soda beyond glass bottles and helped shape modern, on-the-go consumption culture. May 1922, Washington, D.C., Robert T. Lincoln, son of Abraham Lincoln, is helped up the steps of his father's memorial, a poignant moment blending national honor with personal loss. 1865, Lewis Powell, a Lincoln assassination conspirator, stands in chains aboard the USS Saugus, a stark image marking the collapse of a plot that reshaped American history.
Thanks for watching. If there's a forgotten era or photo you want me to bring to life, drop it in the comments. I'm listening.